Okay. So, now, believe it or not, when I did the video with you last time on your E30, I actually had about 6 or 7 people message me privately saying that they wanted me to get you back on my channel. So how does that make you feel? You're like a celebrity now, mate.
I think it was the Barry Grant comment, to be honest, but yeah, we just want that fool back on.
Now, just before I start the sort of serious interview, there's something I've always wanted to know, actually. Have you ever had like somebody come into this garage? Now, it could be a really hot bird, or it could be a really strange individual, but who's been like quite distracting or weird, so much so that it's kind of put you off your job, or you've wanted to get rid of them?
Yes. This might sound very, very daunting, but I think it was early last year. Yeah. Had a gentleman come on, no appointment, just turned up out the blue. Yeah. So can I assist you? And he was after a Jaguar XF, and we had 2 in stock, and 1 I was actually driving, so I parked it outside. Yeah. So I said, well, I'll give you the keys to the one on the forecourt, because I know it can't be driven off. Yeah. And I'll open up the one that I'm currently driving. Yeah. Long story short, loved the one I was in. Yeah. Went for a test drive. I thought something's not right about this guy. Couldn't wait to get away from him. And on the day when he actually transferred the money over to collect the car, the police, Merseyside police, rang me, and he actually murdered his mother.
No way! You're joking. No. I did not expect you to say that.
Honestly, yeah.
That's the last thing. I thought you were going to say something like, well, actually, there was this really good-looking girl I saw. I never thought you were going to say that. That's amazing. Wow. Incredible. Yeah, in fact, I don't know what to say after that, so I'm going to very quickly move on. So one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because I don't think a lot of people realise the kind of difficulty and the hardships that some people have had. Because there's a lot of people in there, in the UK, and myself included, who've not been affected too much financially. And we've just, to a large degree, we've been able to go about our normal business. So I was kind of watching yesterday I went on YouTube and I watched the Boris Johnson video, which was on, the 23rd of March last year, when he actually announced the kind of official lockdown. You know, we couldn't go anywhere, we couldn't see our family or anything. And I just remembered it. I wondered if you can cast your mind back to that and what your actual initial thoughts were when you heard that news.
It was, it was frightening times because from a business point of view, we just bought a load of new stock, which was X amount of thousands. Yeah. Real lumpy stuff. Right, okay. To then here, that's it. Yeah. Complete lockdown, go home. You've got to think the safety of our surroundings. Yes. Obviously, is the stock going to drop in price? Is it going to go up in price? Yeah. We didn't know which angle it was going to go. Yeah. So it was pretty eerie is the word I'm looking for, but very scary at the same time.
Very uncertain as well.
Absolutely.
So before that point then, in the kind of run up to that, had you seen a bit like a drop off in business?
We did. The phones weren't ringing. Obviously, once he made the announcement, people weren't allowed to travel. Yeah. So how can you purchase a car? Like, for instance, you've travelled is it about 2 hours away you live, is it? You know, it just couldn't happen. And when you're selling vehicles that we sell all over the UK and abroad, it just came to a stop. It was, wow, what's happening? This is surreal.
Wow. So you mentioned you bought a load of new cars then. So how many cars do you have in stock roughly then at a time?
We have about 100 cars, but we have 70 to 80 advertised at one time. So we always make sure that when one's sold, there's always another one to replace. The company buyer is constantly outsourcing stock to make sure that we're never low.
Right. So the announcement was then on the 23rd. So did you have to close like the next day, or were you given a grace period for people who maybe already bought a car?
From memory, I mean, don't quote me on this, but I think they gave us a date and said from this date, the garage must shut until, or garages must shut. Right. The industry come to a lockdown. And it was a case of come in, tidy up everywhere, get as much, inside here, we've got nice cars anyway, but we had to get everything, cram as many cars in as possible for safety,
So how many cars did you get in here then?
I think we got, in total, it must have been about 20. I know it doesn't sound a lot, but
Yeah.
when you got...
Yeah,
No.
it sounds quite a lot to me, because it's not a massive space, is it?
No,
It's-
no, not at all.
It's nice. So then the next thing is, so the garage is closed, you can't come to work, but you've got all the stock sitting here, like you said, it's devaluing. But did you have to come in and start the engines once a week so the batteries didn't die, or what?
Well, you weren't allowed on site. We were in a national lockdown, so it was a case of lock the gates and that's it. Just
God, so, I mean, because I can't remember now. So when were you allowed to reopen again? How long did that last?
so we shut in March and we opened again on the 1st of June, I think it was.
Right, okay, wow. So a good few months then.
Yeah, it was a fair few months. We came back in, and at this point, it was a case of obviously trying to get everything back up and running.
Yeah.
People think, yeah, it's a 2-second job, just go around, start the cars up.
Yeah.
It's not, we have to charge, especially stuff like this, you know, the batteries go on them, it causes problems as well.
Of course, yeah.
So, and that was it. And, you know, came back in and let's hope the phones ring.
And you're still obviously paying for like tax and your business rates and your insurance and everything at this point. Everything still has to be paid, isn't it? All the time. So you went off then. So were you put on to furlough?
Yes, so we had to, what we done was when it was coming up to the announcement, we were slowly putting the staff
Right.
bit by bit. So we started with obviously keeping one valeter on instead of 3 that we had at the time.
okay.
So 2 went onto furlough.
Yeah.
There was, I think we had another salesperson with us at the time. We had to put him onto furlough. So it ended up just being me, a valeter, and Luke, the company owner, and
Wow.
that was it. Yeah.
God. And then obviously I'm not expecting you to tell me, you know, exactly what you earn or anything, obviously. But so is your wage structure where you've got a basic and then the rest of it's commission?
Yeah, I mean, every car job you get a set basic a month, and then obviously it's commission for
Yeah.
you know, the cars you do over the month.
But was that taken into account for furlough? Did you get a percentage of your potential earnings, or was it only 80% of your basic?
Well, it's slightly different for me because I'm actually salaried. So,
Right, okay.
but I also work on a bonus scheme. So obviously,
Right.
if I don't sell X amount of cars in that
Yes.
year, I'm not going to get the bonus. So
Right. Okay. So you're kind of one of the lucky ones then. If you in this industry, is that quite rare then?
very rare.
To have- So you're mainly salary and then with a bonus.
That's it.
Right. Okay. So you've got quite a bit more sort of job security then, I suppose, with that as well.
Yeah,
haven't
I
you,
mean,
really?
very lucky in that situation. I mean, normal sales, I think it was tough times for everyone, you know, because literally the basic is basic a month.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then you said you reopened in about June.
June, yeah.
But then when you reopened, was it? Did it take a few months for the business to come back in, or was it quite quick?
The first month was probably our best month ever. I think we'd done 96 in that first month.
You're joking.
It was mental.
I didn't expect you to say that. I thought you were going to say it was a really slow transition.
A lot of companies and other businesses and friends in the industry who I spoke to, yes, it was very bad times for them.
Right.
Don't ask me why, but for us, it was mental. I came back in, it was...
I wonder what the reason is for that. Whether it's the stock, or you've got a good reputation in the industry, or
I think it comes down to obviously stock, having the right prices, the right stock. But it also comes into stuff as in having the right website, brand design, everything else, and having a good team around you, because you can't have all this without a good team. You've got to have solid people around you.
well, to be honest, I mean, when I first met you, when I bought my car, I did read the reviews online, and all the reviews were like amazing. Yeah. So the like your reputation. I mean, I won't be the only one. There'll be lots of other people who've done that, who've gone on and read reviews, and so your reputation is very, very good in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, well, we thank every customer. You're not going to please everyone.
Yeah,
you know.
of course. Yeah.
And the hardest thing in this job, we're selling a used product. So, and a lot of people think, and I'm sure everyone, when they watch this, will agree in the car game, they want a brand new car, but they forget that they're not paying brand new prices.
Yes. Yeah. So Right, so we've gone over that then, and then the business reopened, you came back in, it was very busy straight away. Now, you said that you sold cars abroad before the pandemic. Did you still sell cars abroad after, when you came back, or that part of it died?
That part died as well.
Still now as well? Or?
Still now as well.
Right.
I mean, we do quite a few to Ireland. I'd probably say, going back when times were normal before COVID, we'd probably do 4 to 5 a month to Ireland. But I've done to Cyprus. A funny story once was, we've got a WhatsApp logo on the website, comes to my mobile. Guy messaged me about a X4 BMW we had for sale. Said, yeah, here's our sort code account number. After a couple of texts, never spoken to the guy at all. 4 days later, all the money was in, a transporter was outside, and then the guy sent me a week later, once the car arrived in Cyprus, a selfie of himself sitting on the bonnet saying thanks. Just surreal. I've never spoken to him, couldn't tell you what he sounds like.
That's amazing. So he just bought the car, gave you all the money,
that's it,
without even seeing it or anything?
No, in a different country.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
And with that used to happen quite a lot, and then obviously since all this, it's very rare now. Might have one or two, but
but you're mainly reliant on UK customers and stuff now. So I guess the next thing is really then, what kind of COVID processes you had to put in place by law?
Yeah, so by law, I mean, what month was it? I think it was February. I could be wrong. It was either February or March. We couldn't open the doors to the public. It was click and collect only. So click and collect means the gates have to be locked. It's staff only on site. You weren't allowed to do any viewings, bookings, test drives. So if you wanted to buy that car, you'd have to put your trust in me, transfer the full money over. So you weren't allowed to come outside and transfer the money from the gate, or it had to be in the day before. And then you come to the gate, I'll pass you the paperwork, and off you go. And that was so strange.
Sorry, did you say that was... So was that literally when you reopened from the June time then?
No,
or
this
did
was
you
this
say?
year.
Oh, this was this year, right?
This was this year, yeah. It was click and collect only.
So when you opened last year, it was almost business as normal, as in people could come in and view the cars.
I'm just trying to remember now, Matt.
And this year it was a bit more extreme, a bit stricter.
Yeah, I mean, there was different variants. Again, it was whatever the announcements came along. But it was normal at first, and then it was restrictions, as in, we've changed the way we run the business as well. Because we used to say, anyone in, open any car door, that's all gone, because we've got to re-sanitise everything. So we've got to enrol the cost into that.
So, but what can you do now then? Can you actually take people on for a test drive now?
You can do test drives, but we're doing it slightly different. So we're doing an appointment only, and we will show you around the vehicle. And once you're happy with the condition of the car, get the price out the way and everything, because we are internet based here. I know most garages do discount, etc. We're not like that. And once you say, Aidan, that's the car for me, that's when a test drive will take place. That's good then. So you basically you can function as a business now then, and you can... That's it. As long as we're wearing masks, safety for the staff, safety for the customers, sanitising every morning, obviously afternoon as well.
One thing I was going to ask actually, did you have, like, say that the council come in and check that you were being sort of COVID compliant and things?
I have seen them around on the estate here that we're on. A lot of people were just willy-nilly and saying, I won't name the garage, but there's a garage local to us who actually said, don't worry about it, I'll grab a tray plate, we'll do a test drive. And it was actually the...
oh, really? They got caught, did they?
£10,000 fine.
Joking. Wow. That just shows how seriously they were taking it then, really.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's incredible.
So what about so are all the staff back now then?
Yep, we're all back.
That's amazing. And have any of your staff, did any of them kind of really struggle last year financially, or were they all kind of okay? Or
I mean, we've had one chap who, obviously not selling, on furlough. He's had to find another job, something where he's got a little bit more security. We've had other people who have, it's given them time to go, actually, that's not what I want to do, this role.
Yeah.
And they're looking for various places.
Right,
But we have got a strong little team around us.
Yeah.
So touch wood, fingers crossed. We're,
Yeah, to be honest, I'm quite optimistic now. To be honest, I feel quite optimistic. I feel very positive and everything. And yeah, I think that hopefully this year, within the next few months, everything will go back to normal. I think.
so.
Yeah. So really, it was a tough last year. It was quite hard, and obviously you were yourself. Obviously, you must have found it quite hard. I know you said you're on a salary, but you still had to take a pay cut.
Absolutely.
So you wouldn't have been able to have the sort of, or buy the luxuries that you would have done before.
No, there's a few months, we're all in the same position, whether it's mortgages, rent, house bills and everything else. Yeah, it was, you've got to start, hang on a second, I can't go out there. Well, there was nowhere to go out and spend anyway, but normally go online and start buying rubbish on eBay. But
yeah, I'm guilty of that as well, yeah. So what about like your family and your sort of friends and your parents? Have they all been okay? Have they? Or?
Yeah, my dad was in the high risk category.
Right.
So I've actually got my dad who lives with me, so it was a little bit daunting.
Right, wow.
Thinking, I've got to be careful where I go, etc. And sadly, I did actually get COVID myself. I was tested positive. Yeah. So it was 2 days before New Year's Eve.
Wow.
And again, that made a massive impact on the business because we had to shut for 2 weeks.
Yeah, because the assumption is if you've got it, you've given it to everybody else and
That's
stuff.
it. So I had to backtrack where we've been and let everyone know.
So you've got a positive test, but you live with your dad then, who's in the vulnerable category. So did he have to kind of stay in his own room?
I did. I just literally locked myself in my room for 2 weeks, pulling my hair out and.
God, I'd love to be able to do that. Yeah. That's amazing. But your dad didn't catch it off you, and he was.
No, he's been fine. He's been fine. Yeah, he's had both jabs.
Yeah.
I had my first jab the other week. Obviously, same position of you.
Yes.
I think in a few months we've got our next one. So fingers crossed, it's that worry.
Yeah.
We'll take it away.
So I think I'm going to end it there. I just wanted to have a quick catch up with you, really, just to see how you were, really, because I've not really, like probably, I'm sure you've been in the same boat, but over the last sort of 18 months, I've not really seen anybody. No. And I've kept in touch with a few people on, WhatsApp, but I've basically lost touch with everyone. Yeah. And I've just eaten a lot of junk food and lost my six-pack as well over the, but yeah, so, so it was a hard time, but it looks like you've come out the other side and it's actually ended on a bit of a positive now because all your family is okay and the business is, seems to be thriving. Yeah. And it seems like have you got another site next door now?
Yeah, so we've got that's the prep side, so we've got more space to get cars in, prepped, ready, bought around this side.
Amazing, man, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's amazing. Oh, last thing as well, have you still got your E30?
Oh, absolutely, Beyonce, yeah, still got her. I fall out of love with her, I'm in love with her, I fall out of love with her, I'm in love, the sun's out, I'm in love with her. So
yeah, I still want to try. I still would like to do an edit and a walk around of that car at some point. Yeah, because that's another question people ask me as well. Can you ask Aidan if you can do a walk round? They genuinely did. I didn't have as many questions on that as can you get Aidan back on your channel again? People seem to really like you, mate. So yeah, you're obviously doing something right anyway. But yeah, and.
Free for hire.
But yeah, so thank you very, very much, matey. It's been a pleasure as always. And I'll sanitise my hands afterwards. But thanks very much, man. Cheers, mate. Lovely. Thank you.